Hey guys, it's Victoria and welcome back to FemmeHead. Today I wanted to share my journals and notebooks and what I use them for. So I have them laid out in front of me in the 5 different categories that they are in, and I'm going to kind of just work through them and share them with you, share like how long I've been doing them, why I do them, and like how I use like that particular method or whatever. So the first sort of like journal or notebook I use is just a regular journal, not necessarily like a Dear Diary journal, but if anything significant happens in life or if I'm feeling a certain way, I will write about it in here. So as you can see down here is my very first journal. I started journaling when I was studying abroad in Thailand and I was 19 years old. So these two are kind of from that and a little bit from that summer of when I got back. And then I got this one. This one I started in 2012. And you can see I used to like keep a lot of little bits and pieces. Package of peanut M&Ms that the bus driver bought me when I got lost in Italy. My journals at like this point, and probably this one as well, they're kind of depressing to read because I had a lot of feelings happening, and I like worked through them in my journal, which was a great thing to have, but they're sad to look back at. So these are my more like official journals when you think of journals and writing. I don't try to write in these every day. I do try to stay consistent, but I'm definitely not consistent. I go through periods of time where I do write every day or every couple days, and then I won't write for a couple weeks or a couple months, and then I'll pick it back up. I definitely write more when I'm traveling or if like big events are happening, and I would say that these journals are the ones that I look back at most, even though I don't really look back at them that often. And as you can see, there is a kind of a theme going on. So I like the moleskin notebooks, and I just get the moleskin lined ones. This is my newest one, and for some reason I haven't had to get the same color, so I started with black and then I had green, yellow, red, and now I have a blue color. I just said to Michael like a month ago that I don't think I'll ever buy another moleskin in black because this one is just filled with so much sadness and bad times in life. So I don't want to like, I want to keep it positive and like choose happy colors from now on. I just write stuff, and then there is a little pocket in the back, and I still like will hold on to a couple things. There's this little sleeve in the back of the moleskins. Next on my list is morning pages, and these are all of my morning pages notebooks, which I did not realize I had this many until I was going around and collecting my notebooks and stuff for this video, and I was like, oh my god, this one's full and this one's full. So morning pages every morning, and this is something I do consistently. Every morning I sit down, and the first thing I do is write 3 pages of streaming conscious thought. So it's not a place to necessarily like document or remember things. It's much more just like a brain dump or a brain vomit, and I like to do it in the morning because it allows me to just clear my mind for the day, and whatever is sitting on my mind from the day before or the night before, I can just get out of my head and onto paper, and that way it's not like clogging up my airwaves throughout the rest of the day. And in this one, I don't try to like have good penmanship or grammar or spell things correctly or make it sound nice. I will skip from one idea to the other. It is just literally like whatever comes to mind, I write that down, no matter how like crazy or sporadic it is. And sometimes if I'm like struggling with what to write about, I will describe what is around me or what I'm doing or what I did the day before or what I'm going to do that day. Often I talk about like the day before and that day, and it's a way to work through what I need to get done, as well as a way to like work through things that happened and like how I felt about them. This is probably one of the most, oh, they're all so great, but this is like such a beneficial thing. And if I had to choose between normal journaling and this sort of journaling, I would definitely choose this because I think there's just so many benefits of this for me, and I've been doing it since I think 2015. I could one day, if I wanted to like go back and look at something, I could, but I never go back and look at these because it's not that kind of like memories and documents. It's just more just like blah. And I often make a to-do list, which I'll show you in one of my other notebooks, as I am writing my morning pages. Ideas that come to mind or things I need to do, I'll keep a separate scratch notebook to like write out things that come to mind as I'm doing my morning pages, because things come to the surface and it's just such an incredible thing. Next is my gratitude journal, and this is a more recent addition. When I was going through my old notebooks, I found this little moleskin, where I had started doing gratitudes, 3 gratitudes a day from November 4th, 2017 through November 13th. And I just did it a couple days. But I decided recently that I needed its own place to put my gratitudes. And so I got this cute little notebook. It's a decomposition book. And this is where I have every single day since August 4th that I'm grateful for. This is one of the last things I do in the day, right when I get in bed, before I do anything else, before I like read or actually go to bed. And I have found that when I'm doing gratitudes consistently, I find like the longer I'm doing them, the more things that come to mind that I can be grateful for day to day. And I also notice that during the day as I'm going throughout it, like something will happen and I'm like, this could be one of my gratitudes. You know, this moment is special, and it allows me to kind of step back and soak in that moment rather than just letting it pass by. And I can recognize when moments are special or noteworthy, and I can enjoy them more than I maybe would have before. The next type of notebook or journal is my bullet journal. Actually, I started doing this in 2016, so I've been almost doing it for 2 years, and this is my planner system for work and life, and this is a pretty crucial component to my days. My planner has always been really important since college. I just store so much in here. It's how I keep consistent with FemmeHead, make sure I'm getting everything done that I need to get done, keep track of like different events and meeting up with friends and dates and that sort of stuff. It is my planner essentially, but it is also my content calendar and my brain dump. So I started doing it last year, and I had a number more spreads. So I have a monthly spread. I've made a video talking about comparing my bullet journal now compared to when I first started. I have my monthly overview, my content calendar, my brain dump, which looks differently than it did when I first started, and my weekly spreads. Bullet journaling has just worked out really well for my planner system, and it keeps me in check and keeps things in order. And I use the Rhodia dot journals for these. And then the final notebook that I'll talk about is just a scratch notebook. So if you've noticed, I have a ton of these just like old school notebooks. I was helping my mom declutter her house, and we used to be homeschooled back in the day. And I found all of these notebooks like this that were just blank or had a couple pages filled up, and I was like, I'm taking all of these. So I have probably another like 10 to 15 in my closet. How I use this, I brainstorm, I make to-do lists, take notes for videos, or if I'm reading a book and I want to do stuff. Like this one is when we were planning out our wedding, and it's kind of just like the layouts of how I wanted everything laid out, signs we were gonna make for the wedding. When I like read a book and it has you go through like worksheets and that sort of stuff, it has like goals and stuff. This one has my gratitudes, birthday notes of what I wanted to do for my birthday, notes for a coaching call I had. So it's just like so much random stuff. You look back and it's nonsense, but it keeps my brain in order. And I love this because I can go through and I can kind of brainstorm my to-do list for the day or my to-do list for the week, goals I want to do, dump them out onto this notebook where I don't care about how it looks. And then I can organize my thoughts and put them either into my bullet journal or into my laptop, and organize them that way to where I can actually implement them instead of just writing them down and forgetting about them. If I'm editing a video, I will kind of like edit notes as I'm going. At 42 seconds, I need to put an overlay screen that says this. I want to use this music. I'm such a person that writes things down, and I think through writing stuff down versus like typing it down. I type up like a lot of notes and that sort of stuff, but just like when I'm thinking through things, it helps so much to just kind of like write them out, and that's what this notebook is for. So those are kind of the 5 different types of journals or notebooks I use. There are so many other ways that you can fill up notebooks, and there's a lot of great videos of ways in which you can use blank notebooks, but in my day-to-day life, I use each of these. Anyways, these are all my journals, my notebooks, and they are very important to me, and I just wanted to share how I use them, and maybe it could inspire you and then try something new. And if I could recommend one type of like journal, it would be morning pages. I think that would be beneficial like across the board to everyone. So if you haven't already, give morning pages a go. I've made videos about it in blog posts, and other people talk about morning pages as well. So give it a search and check it out and give it a go. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below if you use any of these types of journals or notebooks, and if you use something else instead, something that you find very beneficial in your day-to-day life. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.